paid time off can be the deciding factor when you're taking a new job. And employees of the city of Las Vegas are receiving so much paid time off they can't even use it all. Many of them selling that time back, costing the city more than $6 million in the year 2021. Rachel O'Brien from OpenTheBooks.com is looking into these numbers. Rachel, thank you for joining us. Break down what the paid time off policies say and then how those unused days cost the city.
Like you mentioned, any employee employed at a private company, employees' time off vary greatly depending on how long they've worked there. So for most regular city employees, they get between 10 and 25 days of vacation, and they can save up between 25 and 65 of those days. So a lot of people don't use their days and they end up being able to sell those days back to the city. Same thing goes for sick days. Now, firefighters, as we know, they work on different length shifts. A lot of them are 24-hour shifts. And so the way their hours work end up differently. And they do end up getting a lot of sick leave and a lot of vacation leave, up to 2,300 hours of sick leave they can accumulate. And again, they're selling that back to the city. So as you mentioned, what's important to know is the city is paying $6 million in 2021. We don't have the figures yet for 2022.
All right. Well, Rachel, thank you for setting the stage here. The city of Las Vegas has responded to this, and I'm going to read it in part. Firefighters typically accrue more sick leave because of their work schedules, generally a continual 56-hour work week and tenure. They generally use less sick time due to being off more days in the week, less sick time on duty than off duty. So with that said, how many hours does the average employee have saved up? Have you been able to find that number?
Yeah, so the average employee, we're talking all city employees, has 79 days saved. That's 59 sick days and 20 vacation days on average. And the average employee is getting $5,000 in buybacks from the city when they don't use those days. When you're looking at firefighters, their average is higher. They're getting about $6,500 in buyback from the city because, as we said, they use far less days, but they have more days to use. So there's a lot more to work with.
The city has also responded to this one, and we appreciate that we are doing this. If we're opening the books, we want full transparency, and we want the city of Las Vegas to be able to respond. So I know that we've had emails going back and forth, and the response to that is rates of pay vary for employees, and differences in sellback time are attributed to such. Vacation buyback is an option for work groups within the city. So this means that instead of taking time off, an employee may choose to sell back vacation hours. This is a personal decision for each employee and one for them to make. So how does this compare with setting the stage here? How does Las Vegas compare to other major American cities when it comes to paid time off policies?
Yeah, so we've looked at Nashville. Their employees have a maximum of accruing 75 vacation days. So the accrual maximums in Las Vegas are very high. They're between 200 and 500 days. So Nashville, they can accrue up to 75 days. Sick days, they can actually go up to 120 or 200 days. It's all still less than Las Vegas. We also looked at Baltimore. Similar hours there. They can accrue between 48 and 192 days. It all sounds like a lot, but it is still less than Las Vegas. Baltimore does, however, have an unlimited number of sick days that employees can accrue. But when they do pay out those sick days, it's a 3-to-1 or a 4-to-1 conversion rate. So they're not being able to be paid for all of their unused sick days, a third or a quarter of them.
We will say one thing is for sure, the city of Las Vegas is so transparent. That's how you've been able to get this information. But we're wondering about Clark County, Henderson, North Las Vegas, Boulder City. They're not as good about making this information public, but I know you guys are working on it. And this is where we're asking not only Rachel and her team to look into it, and we thank you, Rachel, for your time, but when it comes to government spending around the valley, we want your thoughts. Do you have any questions about government spending? Something that maybe we should look into as a news station? Please email us at news3@news3lv.com.